Hello, friends, and welcome to Little Bean's Garden, located in Pomona, California, Zone 10A, established in 2015. My name is Sule, and I will be your host for today. Hey friends, this is a couple of days after we harvested the golden nugget mandarin. As you can see, I have a couple of mandarins that I have washed and dried out in this bowl. And let's go ahead and get started in today's project from garden to table. We're going to use these mandarins to do a mandarin jam. Oh, and I can tell you right now, right off the bat, it is so delicious. Okay, first things first, let me set you up where you can see what I'm doing. And I'm going to take a couple of mandarins and put them on my cutting board. And basically, I don't want to do too many at a time on my board because then it gets too messy. But what you want to do is you want to take off the rind from the mandarins. You don't want that in your mandarin jam because it is going to make it super bitter and you absolutely don't want that. I actually did a jam before. I followed somebody else's recipe that said adding the rind is absolutely okay. It's still going to taste delicious. Unfortunately, it was not edible. No amount of sugar I added to that jam with the rind was going to make it edible. So I am putting my bets on a different recipe and I'm modifying it a little bit, just taking off the rind but also making sure that I am taking off as much of that white stuff. I think it's called the pith. I'm not sure, don't quote me, but anyways, you know what I mean. Basically, you want to have as much of the pure fruit as possible. So what I did is I took off the rind, I took off most of the white stuff with my hands. But what I also did is I took the knife to cut into the fruit and remove just the fruit itself. Now here I'm showing you that I am trying to take the outer part, the casing of the, what would it be called, the wedge of the fruit, that casing it has to keep the fruit intact in the little wedge. That is what I was trying to do. Now this process is very tedious, so I'm not going to lie to you. It's not something easy. You have to have a lot of patience and you definitely need to have time in order to do that. If you don't do that, then your jam will be very bitter and you don't want that. You want it to be sweet and you want it to have the taste of the fruit that you are doing the jam with. So make sure that you take the time to remove as much of the rind and the pith as possible. Now after I did the first method that I just showed you, I just said, you know what, this is going to take too much time. So what I did is I cut the white part off. Just cut it off. So that's why you see this mandarin a little more pure with not much of that white pith or that white part that the fruit has. And this worked out absolutely great. So instead of just peeling the fruit, I actually cut it down a little bit deep so that I would get most of that white stuff that is protecting the fruit. And this worked out perfect. I did all of the mandarins like that, making sure that I cut deep enough to remove the rind with the white pith. I think that's the name. Don't quote me. I really don't know, but that's what we're going to call it. Alright friends, let's go ahead and put this together. Let's make this mandarin jam. The recipe calls for 12 mandarins peeled. removing the rind and the white stuff that I'm calling the pith. That makes about 4 cups of mandarin. It also calls for half a cup of lemon juice. It calls for 1 pack of pectin. I use sure gel. Yeah, I think that's what it's called. And 4.5 cups of sugar. I will leave the recipe in the description box below. The first thing I'm going to do here is I am going to use my blender to blend the mandarin because the jam has a little bit of texture, so we're going to use the blender to get that texture. Alright, and again, you want to blend it, but you don't want to liquefy it because the jam, the beauty of it, or what I think is beautiful, is the texture that it has. It has still little tiny pieces of the fruit. So here I have already blended the mandarins, and now we're going to measure out. It's supposed to give us 4 cups, and I can tell you that all the 12 mandarins that I peeled, it did not give me the 4 cups. But even though it didn't give me the 4 cups, I still followed the recipe as if it would have given me the 4 cups, because I was just off by a little bit. I wasn't off by that much. Okay friends, we're ready to make some magic. The recipe says that in a pot we are going to add our mandarin that we did blend. We're going to add also some lemon juice. Here it is. And we are also going to add that 1 pack of sure gel. Let me go ahead and get it for you and show you. There we go. Sure gel. Is that what it's called? Sure gel. Whatever. We're going to add 1 pack of that. And we are going to make sure to mix it so it's well incorporated into the mandarin and the half a cup of lemon juice that we added. So stir, stir, stir. Make sure that everything is well incorporated. And then once it has boiled, we're going to add our 4.5 cups of sugar. And we're also going to make sure to stir it really, really, really well and let that come to a rolling boil. And here it is. So it is absolutely done. And I am so sorry I did not show me canning the jam. That's because I didn't want to make the video super long for you guys. But I did go ahead and can the jam. And the one that you see there with the white lid is because that's the one that we are keeping to eat fresh. So I did share some with my brother and his wife, and I did share some with my daughter's partner, and we have loved it so much. Out of all the little jars, I have 1 left. And believe me, it is so delicious. You guys, if you have a mandarin tree or an excess of mandarins, you definitely want to give this jam a try. It is so good, so delicious, and definitely way better than the first one I ever tried, which was completely unedible. But this one turned out so good. And after I did go ahead and let them cool down, remove the rings, I put them away for storage, the one with the white lid, in the fridge. Yay, we're at the fun part. This is where I will show you how I'm going to eat this mandarin jam. First, I'm going to cut this bagel up. This is a bagel that I made at my house from scratch. And oh my god, those bagels were super delicious. But anyways, we're here for the mandarin jam. So I grabbed some cream cheese and I added cream cheese to the bagel. The bagel was nice and warm and fluffy and very delicious. And here I have opened up a brand new jar of Mandarin jam, because the one I have showed you before with the white lid, we have completely finished that because it's so delicious. We have finished it. So I'm opening a new jar for you guys here to see me put it on this delicious bagel. The consistency of this jam is so good. The taste is absolutely delicious, and the way it looks in the jar after canning, oh my god, is so pretty. It is just so pretty. The color, the pieces of fruit that come through the jar, oh my god, it's just so pretty. And here, well, I am going to give it a taste test for you. I already know what the jam tastes like, but I'm doing a taste test to tell you as I'm biting it. It is so delicious. Oh my god, you guys need to give this Mandarin jam a try. It is so good. And well guys, that's it from Little Beans Garden. If you like this video, please consider subscribing, hitting the like button, and sharing this video with your friends. We'll see you in the next one. Take care.